Okay. Let's get going. Sort of. We'll wait for some people to crawl in. Well, hello there. Jump in to see the notification. Nice. We'll get started in a second. I've got a few things that I want to just write down. I'm doing alright. Gotta be careful about accidentally muting myself. So, basically, it has been a long time since I last streamed. That is true. That was light platinum, I think, over a year ago. So, I came across this YouTube short of this guy, and he did a like specific video for each starter in Sinnoh without using the Sinnoh 6. Let's see if I can. I'll probably end up making a video about all this, and I'll put the relative various shorts there. But we're gonna start with Torterra because
so we covered our best team for Infernape.
Idea is really cool, but his best team for Pokemon Platinum with Torterra, and in the end, we'll pull this up real quick. It's fun to use other teams in the 6. Yeah, I tend to use other teams in the 6. Is it not popping up? It is not popping up. That is a shame. In that case, let's no, not that one. This one. Alright. Oh, it's not fun? Well, I think it is fun. Which is why this is the team that has been selected for Torterra for using a team without using the Big Six. And actually, with a few changes, I think this team would be very similar to a team I'd actually build. Water type, I almost always go Gastrodon. Never been a Buizel fan. and I rarely go for Lucario. But you got a good mix of... I say good mix. The problem is you kind of got two definitive tanks. The Minion, which is kind of there. Two pretty good, strong Pokemon in Torterra, who's a good, strong Pokemon. So, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. Alright. And we're here in the game. So let's get started in the game and actually play a little bit of Pokemon. I've just done the main introduction stuff already. We're not going to talk through every little thing that goes through. We're just not interested in that for this. Pretty much all we're going to do is play through the game as kind of quickly as possible. And there's three main goals in all of this. We're going to play through Platinum 3 times, 3 different starters, 3 different teams. And we need to find which is the most fun team to play in Platinum, what's the best starter, and do a tier list of the full team. Those are the 3 main things that we need to do. So, luckily, I say luckily, interestingly, while we're probably fine for the first gym, we are going to have to think about other Pokemon to get us, to help us progress, because otherwise we're just going to get stuck badly. And get stuck, like, badly in a place that we don't want to get stuck in, like with moves like Rock Smash. I don't particularly want to, I don't particularly want to use Rock Smash consistently with my Torterra and eventually take it off for better moves. I want to be able to catch whatever Pokemon I want, but our Elite Four beating team must be that whenever we face a gym, we must use those Pokemon. Which, the biggest problem for that is we do need some Pokemon, and Togepi is going to be probably the worst of the bunch, because we basically need it before... Basically the second gym's going to be the hardest, is the key there. But anyway, let's see how far we can get into this. We're not really paying attention to too much. I'm not going to spend 5 minutes, well, I say 5 minutes, like 10 minutes, grinding our Pokemon up before we get started or anything like that. We're just going to go for it. And yeah, we'll go from there. And there's Lucas with the briefcase, and let's, I say see what we're gonna get. We know what we're gonna get. But we can, at the very least, get started straight on our adventure and go from there. Now, definitely I am gonna want to probably pick up a Bidoof and a Geodude. There we go, Turtwig. I have no idea how you get Finneon and Luminion, but that won't be for this stream, probably. Anyway, So we'll just deal with that as it comes. That'll be that. But yes, we get to finally get into our first battle with our Turtwig. The first checkpoint, a major battle in which we can only use Turtwig, because that's all we've got. Oh, I did make the game harder. That's another thing I forgot about. I made the game much more difficult. I'm now regretting that because Chimchar has Double Team and is level 6. You know what I also regret doing? Not putting in my, saving the document that has all the changes in it, because I made this over a week or two ago, and when I initially had the idea, that is, and right now, the frustrating thing is we're gonna lose this fight. Because he's just double teaming. But yeah, I think basic trainers will get an extra... Not basic trainers, but tricky trainers, I think, get an extra Pokemon. Oh no, I don't think I could do that option, because you have to have it as a randomizer to do that option. But I think there's like a 20% increase. They've got smarter moves as well. But I guess in this case, the Chimchar is just going for the Swagger build, which is kind of fair enough because it's destroyed us. He did no damage to us whatsoever and took us out. And there's nothing I can do about that. So we lose the first battle. Maybe we do need to grind up our Pokemon a little bit. Alright. Yeah, the other thing is I am going to make a video going through these three in particular. The starters for everyone. And so I am gonna stream that, and as he releases more videos, or just as other people have teams, I want to be able to grade these teams and basically say, hey, is this a fun playthrough to play through? And if so, pros, cons, and what is so far the best team. And so it'll be a live, it'll be like a live tier list. And these will be the 3 pointers, is this random person online's video. What's his name? I think it's like Elite 4 Facts or something like that as well. So definitely go and check out Elite 4 Facts, and just in general, any the video and stuff like that. And if I do get a custom thumbnail as well, I would, because I have a friend from college who is really, really good at graphic design. That's not even saying 90% of what he does. This is like 10% of what he does, if that. But he is just a brilliant artist, so I might have him, if this series is doing a bit well on the streaming side, I might go ahead and ask him to help me out with a thumbnail. We'll see. The other rule in this is we cannot catch a Starly, a Shinx. We can catch a Bidoof because it's just Bidoof, but who else can we not catch? We can't catch Riolu, Lucario, no Buizel or Floatzel, none of them. No Gibble, Gibite, or Garchomp. None of the traditional big Pokemon can be caught. We can catch Bidoof, we can catch any other Pokemon we want. But there's one specifically off-limit, or there's a few off-limits. And then, like I said, at the beginning of every gym battle or major rival battle, it has to be whatever the team is of the 6 Pokemon that we're gonna get in total as our main team. So, yeah, fun. I think it'll be a fun little challenge for us, but also it'll be just fun to see. Fun to use other Pokemon. I mean, like, when I usually go Infernape because there's, like, no fire types whatsoever in this game. When I'm playing just on my own. And so I usually go, like, Infernape, Staravia, Luxio, Gastrodon is, like, the basic team that I always put together. So everything from there is just what it is. I don't know how else to put it, but like literally everything from that point onwards is just I'll pick up 2 more Pokemon and that'll be it. We'll give a nickname to our Turtwig here. You know what? Since we'll name after the chatters, the viewers. Yamagami, welcome to the team. And thank you for chatting first. Welcome. Welcome into the game. Alright. So let's, we're gonna get the whole spiel. I might just... Wow, a live stream. Yes, it is a live stream. So we're just gonna speed through all this because I don't want to go through the entire professor's discussion. Alright, cool. And we will... Oh yeah, we get return. Good move, return. I will definitely be interested in that. And we're gonna get the tutorial, so... yep, red roof, blue roof, and... we move on. Okay. And what do we need? We need Pokeballs, because I want to catch Bidoof, which I won't name after someone from the chat, because, you know, want to do that for the main team members. There we go, an antidote. We may only just need a Bidoof, now that I think about it. That could be all we need. Trying to think, because we need... Rock Climb's a good move. Waterfall's a good move. Surf's a good move. Fly's a good move. We really just need someone to do Cut, Rock Smash. Might as well just keep it to Bidoof, right? I mean, that just seems the most normal thing. And we get to deliver a parcel to Barry. So I guess we'll catch our Bidoof. We'll catch a Bidoof. There's nothing in the rules that I've come up with saying we can't catch a Bidoof. We just can't catch, like, the most popular Pokemon to catch. So, and it'll be nice to have a teammate on the team as well, because we probably will need it, considering the fact that I've increased everyone's levels by 20%. And actually, Bidoof's probably going to be a pretty big... Yes, I did name Turtwig after you. You know what? We will name Rami after... or Bidoof after Rami. We're just going to name it after the people in the chat. And if you're in the chat at this time, you get the name. We can even put the X. Machina is not going to fit in, but we can call you Rami X. I feel it's a little disrespectful, but... Luckily, no Nuzlocke for this, because my sanity couldn't deal with it. Definitely could not deal with a Nuzlocke right now. But I actually do want to teach return to someone. I'm thinking... I always think it's good to put return on your starter, because your starter should have the highest friendship. Also, that was a big stat boost. What are we looking at here? Lonely nature, likes spicy food, really high attack, an HP, I guess. Because Lonely's just one of the neutral natures, so we just got a good spread, nature, I guess. Alright, I don't want to take all these guys out, but I don't want to do it this slowly. But yes, I want to take out all these Pokemon so we can get somewhat higher leveled. So that this isn't the biggest challenge in the world, because I have to play through this game. I've forced myself to play through this game 3 times back to back to back. Well, Immortal Turtwig, hopefully. Although, we're just gonna ignore the first rival battle. Alright. Just before we actually get started, where do you find Finian? I'm just trying to think of... which is after Hearthstone. Okay. It seems like once we get past the second gym, things get easier. And that's the problem, is because the second gym's gonna be a pain. Because I can't remember, do we get... This is just gonna play, I think. Oh, I'd muted myself. I had no idea where I was. Probably right at the start, because I looked up Platinum. Okay, so Finian, we need Good Rod for. And then we can catch. Which is after Hearthome. A lot of these Pokemon are kind of later on. The other problem is, we could get Bidoof to evolve too early. We need Cut to get, so we... Basically, the third gym's just gonna be a slog. Because we cannot catch a Starly. Maybe we catch a Chingling? Or something like that? To try and help, well, but that only helps us with the gym, not the gym leader. Because even for the gym leader, I'll have to put Bidoof in the PC. Even for Rourke. So... Could cast Drifloom. Or I could just get to that point, wait a day, and stream tomorrow. That's the other possibility. But I still can't then bring it into the actual gym battle. I can bring it into the gym, I can defeat all the gym trainers, but when it comes to the actual gym fight against the gym leader, Gardenia, I got nothing. This is what annoys me about this game. There's one Pokemon, for some reason, that they decided to get rid of in it. Now, I don't know why they did this, but for some reason, they decided to get rid of Murkrow from Eterna Forest in this game. Now, Murkrow has never done anything wrong, ever, in any Pokemon game, yet completely gets shafted. And every time I play Pokemon Diamond, I've always got a Honchkrow on my team. Well, more like a Murkrow, because they put items way too late in the game. But I've used Murkrow as part of my team in Pokemon Diamond before. They should have kept... I'm gonna be Ash. That's true. Very true. I wish they kept Murkrow in the Eterna Forest. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. Because as much as the Togepi egg's cool, and when you get Togepi, in one of his other teams, I think it is actually, it's either the Infernape one, or, well, it's either Infernape or Empoleon, obviously. I think it's the Infernape one. He also uses Togekiss. Which is a bit, you know, it's not cop-outy, but it's like, of all the Pokemon you could have picked, let's pick one twice, you know? But I mean, it is what it is, really. We'll figure it out. Would I prefer to have a Murkrow? Yes. Am I up for the challenge? We'll see. And grass on grass is hard, and we don't get too many moves. It's gonna be a tricky one. It really is. Luckily, the first gym won't be difficult at all. Maybe that's another thing I can do, is I can give a ranking to each. Yamagami saving Rami eggs makes me proud. But maybe I'll also, fourth thing to do is put a difficulty ranking on each team as well. Mind you, I'm making the game more difficult as well for myself, but I mean in general difficulty ranking. Because something like, if you're soloing a Chimchar from Sandgem Town to Hearthome City, pretty much, with a couple of extra Pokemon maybe coming into the fray, then that's going to be kind of easy. If you got a Piplup and you've already got like 2 or 3 Pokemon, it's easy, but maybe, you know, later stages in the game are a bit more tricky. So I think it'll be kind of interesting to see, of the Pokemon, of the starter Pokemon in their respective teams, which are the most tricky to deal with. This is going to take a long time, this battle. But yeah, which team is going to be like the easiest? Easiest to start, middle, and end of the game. Because I figured this one's going to be one of those where it's like probably medium at the beginning, and then probably easy at the end. That's what I would suspect. I just want to get to Jubilive. There we go. First big step. It's only taken us 30 minutes. And there's Looker. Nice. There he goes on his international police thing. I can learn growth. I believe I do learn growth. There's also curse. Curse would probably be the one to do. Because that would just be a case of curse and tackles, and maybe some special defense buffs as well. Yeah, with enough just determination and force, you can just take Gardenia down. There is a possibility there. So we'll just have to see. But let's do we'll not do that one first. I want to get the old rod first, which we don't need. And isn't there an item somewhere? Or is that just in the Drayano hack? Nope. There we go. Potion. But I guess if I can get some, like, X special defenses, like 2 or 3, that'll save me from Magical Leaf. I'm just trying to think of what other moves she would have, because it's not going to be the exact same moves, because I've changed them. That's the other thing. It's the annoying thing, actually. Let's see, we got Paralyze Heal. I'm also switch training a little bit, because, you know, I want to get our levels up. I did increase wild Pokemon levels by 10%, not as much as trainer Pokemon, but enough so that it isn't completely disproportionate. Don't want that Heart Gold Soul Silver level spread. But let's get through some of these battles. Get our Pokemon levels up. And then there's this guy and one more. Get all our health back with Magikarp Splash. We really don't do that much. We have no special attack. Definitely need to get Razor Leaf. I'm trying to think of other potential helpful moves. That we would have access to, at least. Man, the accuracy is just fan-dabby-dozy. We're just gonna miss every attack at this point. My goodness, we are missing every attack. One drop of accuracy is just enough to completely make us incapable of attacking, apparently. There we go. Joint effort. And Bullet Seed is available after the first gym, but without saying it could be wasted, it is available. But we gotta remember, we do get Razor Leaf kind of early. I think it, like... I'm trying to think. I think it is after the evolution, but we do get Razor Leaf. And Razor Leaf's pretty good. Alright, quick save, because we probably should do that. And I'm gonna go get myself a little bit more coffee. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back. We got coffee. Definitely want to take on these two first. Sorry, what? What is this bidoof? This is, definitely gonna make these battles so much harder. Yeah. Gonna make these battles harder. Can we do it by spamming tackle? Apparently we can. Doesn't change the fact that it's gonna be harder. You already used the potion. Shut up. Well, we're gonna need to heal after that. And we got second guy. This time with a Starly. This one's a lot more straightforward. Or not. That was like attack scaling. Attack just got higher and higher. Can we only get a potion for this? I mean, is it better than hidden power? Probably. And then we get our X attack here. Let me talk to Barry. Hello, Mr. Barry. Let's give you this parcel. Alright, we delivered the parcel. I didn't think... that attack was like scaling, it was crazy. Let's heal up. We get the Poketch, and we've got a rival battle. Then march on to where we need to go next, which will be hopefully kind of easy. Let's see, Turn of Forest will be a bit of a bit of trouble, but actually, yeah, it is a thing of like everything after a Turn of Forest or just a Turn of City is going to be a lot easier because we'll actually have Pokemon that we can use. So up until that point, the game is kind of tricky, except for the first gym. But then the first gym's supposed to be easy. I mean, would name a Pokemon game where the first gym isn't easy? Actually, I guess unless you're getting a Charmander. And Fire, well, any of the Gen 1 games. But there's usually something you can catch beforehand. This is different because we've got this. You know, we got our rules that we can't use too many Pokemon and things like that. Yeah, Fire Red, Leaf Green with... I mean, Brock's not difficult. He doesn't really have too many damaging moves, but he definitely has his strong points. Alright, I've been thinking about a little strategy for this. Substitute? What the heck? Gotta love Leaf Green. Leaf Green is pretty good. Charmander doing no catching beside gifts. Yeah. Is it just gonna substitute every time? It seems like it. Yeah, I made the AI smarter. So they have actual, like, good moves and stuff. No critical hit. This is gonna be a problem. We might lose this fight. We're gonna really struggle against Barry. I guess we could raise attack. And try and do something there. Let's see, Torment. Could be worse. Can't use the same move twice because of Torment. Okay. Oh, Pokemon Torterra Edition change-wise, because no description. Basically, I've just altered a normal Pokemon Platinum game. The Torterra Edition thing is just we're playing with Torterra as our starter. It's all based on a video that I saw, or series of videos that I saw from a guy who was doing a bunch of teams for this game without using the big six. So starters stay the same, but no, you can't use Lucario, you can't lose Garchomp, you can't use Staraptor. And then what are other alternate options for teams? So basically I'm playing through those teams and then ranking them and seeing which is the most interesting one, which one's the most fun, which is the easiest, which, you know, all the, just a bunch of different metrics, and then I'll probably put it all together into one big video at some point. And there's nothing I can do to a Chimchar. So we are at a weird point now. Where I need to actually start thinking about strategies, because we don't have anything. Maybe we just level Bidoof up. Because I think Bidoof probably could have won. Yeah, the Cynthia fight will not be fun. In the slightest. But by that point we'll have the team. So... Chimchar and Eye for... Yeah, that Chimchar's not fun. We just need slightly stronger Bidoof. Maybe level 9 even. I know Bidoof does learn Rollout at some point. I'm not that interested in specifically Rollout as a move option for us. But... okay. Unfortunately for Rami X, and I know Bidoof's not supposed to be the strongest Pokemon in the world, but this Bidoof in particular is a little on the weak side. Not the biggest fan of Mr. Bidoof. Which is a shame for Rami, because... yeah, it just is. But level 8, no new move. So I will go to level 9, I think. And I think we'll just pose a better chance. The other problem is like we have a lot of plus to physical, whether it's attack or damage, but not special. And Ember's a special attack. So the damage that Ember does to us is just the damage Ember does to us. So the more we can put, or the longer we can have Bidoof out there for, the better, in my opinion. There we go, Rami. It's starting to pick up now. And also, I guess the next Pokemon will be named Shadow. Or Shadow Z, AZ, if it all fits. Okay, we learned Defense Curl. Don't know if that's gonna necessarily do anything. But we'll see. Alright, let's see. We'll do a little test run here. We'll see if we can beat Barry. I take it... I'm not saying it's a no-go, but... we're slightly higher leveled than him. I forgot about the substituting Starly thing. That is just the thing that's so annoying. And then it's got Steel Wing to raise its defense occasionally. So I guess what we need to do is we need to heal Rami. Okay, I need him to not do anything to me that's going to lower my stats. That's the key here. Obviously he's going to lower my stats in some way. No, he's going to raise his own. But that also could mean that healing's effectively done nothing. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go... We won't go into Chimchar, because Chimchar will probably just use Torment first to try and do some type of setup thing. It's got Brick Break. Are we faster than... We're not faster than it, but are we faster than it? No. Okay. Alright, it's gone for the Torment. We hit a crit. I'm gonna go for Absorb. Because if we can get some damage back, that would be nice. So it's got Brick Break, Ember, Double Team. Presumably that's it. But alternately it should have Swagger as well. As long as we can hit one more tackle. Oh. That's fine. It's the tackle we need to hit. Why? Why double team? Why must you make me suffer? This is how he beats me. Double team spam into Ember. At least we got to use Absorb. Let's hit a crit on this, do 2 damage. Please let me just... I mean, to be honest, I'd rather have just ended the suffering from that point onwards. Okay. Things I've learned. We definitely need to just go straight into tackle on Chimchar. Not Chimchar, Starly, because of Substitute. Outside of that, I'm kind of lost. So, we'll see what happens. You know, this would be nice for an actual ROM hack, where if your starter just wins, it's just canon. They heal your Pokemon, and they're like, yeah, I beat you. What are you gonna do about it? But it is amazing to think we're already having problems with with Barry. Problem is, Rami's not faster than Chimchar. I guess one option would be, while substituting, we just boost our own defense up. And use a bunch of potions. I'm gonna wait for Torment. I guess he's just doing that now. Alright. He's probably gonna go for Brick Break. Okay. Yeah, so that's just... Oh, that we were never gonna beat him then. We could actually be in a completely lose situation where we just cannot beat him at this current point, which I would hate. I'd feel very sad, actually. I already feel a little annoyed right now, because it's like, alright, we have faced this guy off again about 4 times, and every time he has beaten us. I know his substituting Starly is a little broken, but we just... I don't know. Alright. I'm not saying this is going to absolutely make it possible for us to win, because I don't think it is, but we will see. For some reason it's just not using steel. Well, I guess it's because of the... I guess because of the defense boost. Let's see how much Brick Break does. I'm gonna assume it does like 10 damage. That's manageable. Gonna go for Torment, so we'll just go between Growl and... Ooh. Alright, Ember got us. Nice, we get burned. Cool. Man, what is wrong with Barry? Why is he so absolutely... What is this unit of a team he's got? It's a Starly and a Chimchar, and it's impossible for me to take out. I don't even know what to do anymore. Actually, we do have an X attack. But we only have 1 potion. Dude, he is a beast. I cannot take him out. In fact, he's gonna take me out again. I'm actually lost for words. I'm out of items. I'm out of Pokémon. I'm out of a will to live. And this is the second rival battle. And this is my own doing. Like, this isn't just a ROM hack. I can't blame it on someone else thinking that we all want the biggest challenge in the world. So that I'll make it interesting. I made it impossible. I said I didn't want to do any, like, random grinding. Geodude. That's what we do. Geodude. Free potion. Geodude. Psyduck, not quite what I was looking for. Nor is Zubat. Actually, there's probably not going to be any Geodude here. I know there are. It's for people who forgot to pick one up earlier, so that they've got a Pokemon that can Rock Smash. I mean, alternately, we just over-level, but that's not in the spirit of the game. Or the challenge, really. Actually, he does have coverage for rock ground. So maybe we do just need to over-level. Maybe that's what we do. We over-level. Because the only way we can defeat Barry. Dude, we can't even take out a level 6 Zubat without losing half our health. Like, who thinks we're gonna actually beat Barry? There's no berries up to this point. All berries come later. And I only have one potion. I'm out of money completely. So I think it is a case of just leveling up Pokemon a little bit more and hope. Zubat would be nice with Supersonic and all of that, but I don't know how long that strategy would work for. Predominantly just because we need to just be tankier. You know what? We're gonna catch a Zubat. We're gonna catch a Zubat. We're gonna level it up to level 10. And it is gonna help us beat Barry. Welcome to the team, Shadow. We're gonna heal everyone up. The problem is we need Shadow to, like, live. Which is gonna be hard against Chimchar, which is where we need him the most. So... because move-wise, we're not doing anything. So... not to mention the fact that something like a Starly is just going to be annoying anyway. This is going to take a while. Unless... we outspeed. In which case... Because we're outspeeding Wurmples and Starlies and stuff, which is, you know, to be expected. And we'll see, our speed's 10, so we probably need to get at least to level 8 if we can get high speed. Though, trying to level it up in the first place is a bit frustrating. We somehow need to get it to hurt itself in its confusion before it takes me out. Or we get to frustration, which we've just done. Very fun. Alright. Well, yeah, especially in this game. They kind of fixed it in later generations, but yeah, right now leech life is not good. We just need to get ourselves to a point with Zubat where we can take things out. We're definitely a little bit faster than Pokemon around us. Our speed's only gone up by 1. I would say we need at least 14 speed. We may need to go even higher. There's a way to make Zubat strong even now. I don't like using Struggle. Plus, in terms of the actual battle itself, I do want Supersonic to be a move I can use. Which would basically just mean do what we're doing now, get rid of Leech Life, have 1 or 2 Supersonics left. But that is quite the gamble. I really needed... we can't beat a level 3 Bidoof. Man, all that time away from making videos has made me worse at Pokemon. Should have just kept making the videos. Man. This is the hardest start to a game of Pokemon I have had since, probably... what was it that we played? Radical Red. That's how I'm feeling right now. I've Radical Redded myself. Obviously this would not be as difficult with, in the base game, if I hadn't modified it. even from just, like, the perspective of if I had not modified it and messed with, specifically, the movesets. If I hadn't altered the movesets, this would have been probably fine. Plus, in a level or two's time, we'll just know how astonishingly bad Zubat early on actually is. Because we'll get the move Astonish. Oh, man. Can we... At least the level up isn't the worst thing in the world. Trying to get this thing leveled up. I don't want to go up against Starlies, just want to go up against... Well, level 6 works. And then... more Badoos is all good. What have I gotten myself into with this? Why did I make it so difficult? I remember, once upon a time I made, just for my own enjoyment, a Pokemon White Nuzlocke where I just changed everything. Stats and PP of moves and type that the move is and types of Pokemon, and I think I got to Route 3 and before the Nuzlocke ended. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. But that was the hardest I'd ever made Pokemon on myself. Which is fine if you have a cheat sheet. It's fine in competitive Pokemon because your brain is the cheat sheet. Just gotta know Pokemon types, which is kind of easy because they release 100 to 150 of them every 2 to 5 years, so you just get to learn, and it's easy. But man, when you start changing types and move types and item PP and all that, or move PP and all that sort of stuff, man, not fun. So let's see, we're level 9 now. We've got 14 on our speed. I still don't think that's enough to take out Chimchar. Or be faster than Chimchar. If I had to guess, 14 or 15 would be Chimchar's speed. So, by the power of deduction, that means what we should do is get Shadow to level 10. Shadow's our new secret weapon. Shadow's what's going to take out Evil Barry. Be awesome if Shinx was Dark type in this. That would actually be helpful for me. It was just grind on a bunch of Shinx and be at level 10 in no time. Full health too. And then we can finally continue the story, which is becoming way harder than I wanted it to, ever. Badoo would be nice, then we can heal up, or just a Starly, which we're going to run away from. Another one. So close to level 10. Alright, Shadow is level 10. Hopefully that is enough to outspeed a Chimchar that is one level above it. Now we know that Rami is the only one that can really take out Starly. We can do it with super defense, but we don't have the money for it. So what we need to do... I was gonna save. What we need to do is make sure that we can get Shadow in against Chimchar. So since there's always a substitute right at the start, we're gonna go for that. Then I'm gonna go for a defense curl. To get the defense up. And go for another tackle now. Substitute took damage. Alright, we're gonna go for one more defense curl. And now we just tackle. Should be able to take the Starly out. Alright, Chimchar comes out. We will not be able to tank one hit We might be able to tank 2 if we heal. I'm thinking we're gonna go for a Growl. Went for Torment first. That was your first mistake. Alright. We'll go for the Tackle then. Because he just doesn't seem to want to go for the Brick Break. So we'll go for another Growl. I mean, we could do it to ourselves. So we probably should now. We got 1 Growl off on the Chimchar. Now, Supersonic's never gonna hit. That's the problem with Chimchars. It's just the double team. Double team this early on is just so broken. Actually, double team in general is broken. Because if you're just bulky enough, which, you know, at the start of a game, you're just gonna be bulky. Because nothing hits hard anyway. No, we don't hit that hard with any of our Pokemon. It just means that they become a little bit unstoppable. Been nice to have hit that. What I might do is use up our potion. I wanted to use the X attack, but I just have the feeling that it's just not going to be helpful. We hit the Growl? Really? I wish we had something that was to lower special defense, or special attack. But we missed that, you know. Alright, Rami goes down. Now we go for Shadow. Now this is the big test, is are we faster? No, we are not faster. We're gonna get a lot of that. So let's just see what we can do. So, that's another loss. So we just can't hit. There's nothing we can do to Chimchar if we just can't hit it. So I think we brute force Bidoof to confuse Chimchar. Which should allow us to just keep doing damage. Because if Starly keeps doing Substitute, we can do that. Okay. We're just gonna gain levels by taking out Starly out. So now we go for Supersonic here. And we miss, of course. But we hit it. Alright. Oh, yes. Come to me. It's hurt itself again. Our deeds have, I think, come to fruition. Karma has shifted in our favor. We have won. At the, 19th attempt. And we get Razor Leaf. think I'd have a reaction of, what do you mean I lost? Well, that's it. Last time I'll ever lose if I beat someone like 15 times and then they finally beat me. Ugh. The pain is over. For now. So yeah, Shadow was helpful. Thank you, Shadow, for joining the team at this moment of need, and being the difference maker in that fight. Now let's continue. We got to Jubilive after 30 minutes. We've spent the last hour in Jubilive. Predominantly due to Barry. There we go. Pokeball. Nice. I guess I could have sold Pokeballs, but I decided not to. Which actually kind of worked, I think, because I was less focused on, like, healing up my Pokemon and trying to brute force with one singular one. Use all my items up for it. What is with these substituting Pokemon? It is a little crazy. We definitely need the levels, though. But it is a bit like, why? Ooh, Quick Claw, that would be very useful. But again, I mean, it's an item you get later in the game. It is not this early on. I still think for the first gym we're gonna be fine, because, you know, first gym is first gym. But it is, well, I don't think it's before the first gym early. Like, you usually get it after, like, second or third gym. I'd count, I'd count. Check a building. Is it seriously in Jubilive? I thought that was anyway. You're right. I didn't realize it was that early. That was a really... what are the rules for catching Pokemon in this run? We can catch there are more Pokemon that we can catch than we can't catch. We can't catch any of the big 6, so no Garchomp line, no Luxio line, no Starly line. There's a main team of 6 that we have to catch. Let's see, we already got the Surtwig, and then it's, I think, Togepi, Finneon, Bronzor line, Frostlass, and Toxicroak, I think, were the, is the team. So we need to catch those Pokemon. Outside of that, it's just, we're free to do what we want. I'm trying to... I mean, we could catch a Bidoof, but I don't see a need to catch it when we've got Torterra. Or, well, we've got Turtwig for now. But yeah, we could catch a Bidoof if we wanted to. I am going to prioritize the Pokemon that are actually going to make a big difference for us throughout the playthrough, i.e. Turtwig right now. So we'll try and get Grotle, sorry. Try and get Grotle before the first gym. Because every, like, major battle, we just have to use whatever the team of 6 is. We have to use that team. So rival battles, I'm not counting it necessarily. I don't see any grass imposters. Yeah, so I guess like the rival battle we won't count as because the challenge has been kind of tricky up to this point. We would not ever have been able to beat Barry with just Turtwig unless we leveled it up really high. Yeah, okay, makes sense. And then we're just going to compare them all. So we're going to do the same thing with the Piplup line. We're going to do the same thing with Chimchar line. They're different teams, but it's the same person who came up with these teams without using the big 6. And I just thought, let's put them to the test. Let's see how good these teams are, basically. And then compile it into one video that'll probably come out at the end of the year. But I just wanted to stream more, and instead of making the video series, I like the video series. It's fun, but I hadn't been feeling it. I just didn't really want to do Oraz. I just wasn't feeling it. I like Oraz. I like Sun and Moon. Saw some Sun and Moon gameplay the other day and just thought, that could be fun to play to some extent. And kind of felt, yeah, I feel like I missed out on doing so I still probably will. But yeah, in terms of what I wanted to do for the time being, for the right now, it was very much an easy decision. I just want to sit back and play a video game and do a challenge or something like that, and it's not too stressful, which... I was not playing Sun and Moon. I was just thinking about... I saw someone else playing it, and it just made me think, we kind of missed out on that in terms of the games that we haven't played. So it was more of a, yeah, it wasn't like I was actually playing it. Last time I played Sun and Moon was one of the I think it was Ultra Moon I was playing, and that's when I'd finished that when I started uploading videos, because that was the first Pokemon game that I'd kind of gotten back into after probably about a year of not really playing any Pokemon. The first thing I actually did was check in on my, I think it's my X save, where I'm trying to complete the Pokedex, which I haven't checked up on in a long time, mind you, at this current moment. Now I've got a couple shinies on that save file too. I really need to, which I can do now, I really need to export that save and keep a copy of it just in case. But yeah. Alright, we really, in my opinion, need to just get this gym done and over with, and not, you know, mess about too much anymore. We need progression, because the faster we progress in this game, that pearl's gonna come in handy. We're gonna sell that. But the faster we can progress in this game, the faster we get to actually building out the team. And the faster we get to building out the team, the faster I gain my sanity back. And I was hoping to get the first Pokemon in this adventure today. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we'll probably get to Valley Wind Works, maybe Eterna City if I'm really feeling it. Depends on how bad that Zubat is. Alright. Escape rope is useful. We'll probably use that once we defeat all the trainers, that is. And there we... oh, no. We still got more levels to go. Okay. And... Gym Leader. Potion. I'm gonna get more coffee before we actually take the gym challenge, because I've got basically one more cup's worth left. But I want to defeat all the trainers. I want to defeat them, get rid of their feet. I think there's one more. Nope. Alright. Time to escape rope out, and then we'll do the gym. Alright. Gym Leader's back. We can take on the gym. We've got a Quick Claw, Turtwig, which will probably be a Groddle either before or after the gym, which is cool. Alright. I also definitely want to do this at some point with a, because I want to make my life even more difficult. I want to do this with Chikorita. Gotta love Pokemon music. I do love Pokemon music. I've still got my, folder of Pokemon music for when I'm doing battles and speeding them up in post. I just cannot remember if this is at level 27 or not 27, 17 or level 18 evolution. I think it's 18. There we go. Time to lurk and get yourself some tea. Nice. What tea? I say to the person who's about to lurk, but, you know. I'm playing through some Fire Red right now, because I, know they released on the Switch, and I was like, huh, instead of playing it on the Switch, why didn't if I just played it on my DS the way I want to play it? So I did. And it was it's kind of interesting, because so I really wanted a Flareon, and I realized that there's like no fire-type moves unless you specifically go out of your way to get the what's it called, flamethrower TM from the slot game. And so I was like, huh, this is gonna be an interesting one. Oh, Earl Grey? Nice. Solid option. Roared. You were my first victim. Ooh, just lived there. But potion, Razor Leaf, it's gonna go now. Yeah, there it goes. Level 18. If the battle stopped now, we'd be fine. But it's okay, because there's an Onix coming out. And as long as Onix doesn't move first, which it theoretically could, and has, but it hasn't used the move that's going to lower our accuracy, so Razor Leaf hits, and we have gotten ourselves our first gym badge. About as easily as you can possibly get. What? Yamagami is evolving? Grotto! That means we get early Torterra, though. It's kind of nice. This is embarrassing! Yeah, well, it kind of is, especially because I lost to Barry like 50 times. Man, Gardenia's gonna be a challenge. He was useful. He was very useful at giving us levels and money. Two things that we definitely need. And the evolution. Yes, definitely the evolution. Evolution first. Alright, let's get some repels. Oh, we can get super potions. Let's go. Let's get some of these. feel a bit like Purple Rodri there. Buying all my repels. Only 700? No, well. Better than nothing. I do think we also should probably do something about Rami. In terms of maybe involving Rami a little bit more. I'm not sure about Shadow. Shadow was kind of just there because we needed a Pokemon. Sorry, Shadow. You were gonna be named after the Togepi, but... Are you doing a playthrough of Heart Gold Soul Silver? Nice! I'm probably gonna... I do want to do, I do want to do the Chikorita Meganium playthrough version of this. Testing out, like, someone's best team for Meganium or whatever. I think, because that would be really fun. To think. Yeah, I guess Storm Silver is really the last of that game that I've played through. I kind of want to finish Storm Silver. I might record that. Those episodes take forever to make, though. I say forever. They don't take that long. They're just inconvenient to make. Oh, dang. Big Pearl's cool and all. I just had a thought. I found a way to beat Gardenia. I have in fact done it. I think I have actually done it. We can get a Bronzor on the route next to where Eterna City is, which we can get to before then taking on Gardenia, and we can have a Psychic type that has a huge poison resist. I think we've just found our way to beat Gardenia. It won't really help us for Skuntank. That's the only problem. But that's a problem for another day. And not me. Today. Just be me tomorrow. Typhlosion, Celebi, Tyranitar, Scizor, Azumarill, Togekiss. I like the team. I like the creativeness of the team. The Celebi's a wild card. But, that's not a normal option. I'm assuming, is it Storm Silver, or is it regular Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or is it like modified? But I do like the team. I like the usage of some of the different Pokemon like Scizor and Azumarill. I also like Togekiss because Togekiss is just an awesome Pokemon. You know, this team is a bit reminiscent of my Pokemon White playthrough. with the Victini on it. Normal Soul Silver. Okay, so you got the Celebi through the event then? You keep for flying only? No. Togekiss is a... Well, I guess you have your bulk in Azumarill. But there's nothing wrong with extra bulk from Togepi. Togekiss. Action replay? I mean, fair enough. That's why I like the Drayano hacks, is because you can do more. That's why I wanted to play through Storm Silver to its absolute completedness, because I wanted to actually see what there is to do in all of that game. Because, I mean, I've seen people's Let's Plays going on for, like, eons. You know? It was like episode 100 of, you know, Renegade Platinum, or, you know, I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And it's not even like 10-minute episodes as well. But yeah, and you know, you have to kind of use, especially with the old DS games, you kind of have to action replay a few things anyway. Just if you want the more fun experience. One thing I did that I thought would make me really enjoy a playthrough, but didn't, was give my team, or give myself a full team at like level 2, and then play through from there. I think I did it in White 2. Try Refined Heart Gold if you want to catch all the Pokemon. I actually have an idea for a completed Pokedex playthrough. So, I wanted to play through some different ROM hacks a while ago, and so I downloaded a number of ones that either I'd liked in the past or ones that I wanted to play through for the first time and check out. And so, you know, I got all the normal ones, Pokemon Glazed, which is actually a lot harder to find now than it used to be. So, you know, if you've got a copy of Pokemon Glazed lying around, definitely keep hold of it. But Pokemon Light Platinum, what else did I have that was interesting? Liquid Crystal, probably my favorite Gen 2 ROM hack. Let's see. Oh, and then I got Gaia and Unbound, because I just hadn't played through them. And I'm still playing through Unbound, although I do have a couple technical issues with it, so I was thinking, should I should probably deal with that before too long. But then I did play properly through Pokemon Gaia, and I had a lot of fun in Pokemon Gaia. My teams always kind of look a little bit the same. But let's see, what was my Gaia N team? I've got my DS here. Because I'm definitely going to play through Gaia on this channel. Yeah, Well, exactly. I like the story. And Pokemon Guy's story was really interesting to me. I thought it was very well done creatively, and as a just general playthrough type of game, or casual playthrough type of game, I enjoyed that. So, nope, had a cutscene. Yeah, no post game. But okay, so yeah, this was my team. So in Pokemon Gaia, I had I had Infernape, I had Gastrodon, Electivire, Crustle, Altaria, Mega, and Trevenant. So that was my Gaia team. And I had a lot of fun with it. And I would absolutely replicate that team again, if it was like a fun thing to do. Although, well, I didn't really have any problems with that team at any point, but I had noticed that. I was wondering if that was what exactly it was. Yeah, there's Lyra with the rocket. Now I can see it better. And thank you. I had a lot of fun with that team. And it definitely is the part of the reason why Pokemon Gaia is on the list of games to play for me. At least for the channel. You know, I'm now wishing we had Rami with pickup. Because we're gonna be hanging about with Rami for probably quite some time, considering a lot of things actually, but considering one of the Pokemon we need to get is like near the 7th gym. So we're gonna have a slot open. And pickup's just good. I could change Rami's ability so that we do have pickup and we can get some extra items, but I feel like that's cheating. We should just catch a Pokemon with pickup, but I'd want one that's, you know, a Bidoof. So, missed opportunity, really. That's really the end of the day. Best item? That's a good question. I do think it depends, because there's certain Pokemon that need items more than others, or need like a specific item. I would probably include Mega Evolution as one of the best items. I remember that era of like competitive Pokemon, mainly Oraz era, but it was so interesting with, you know, the different megas, because people would try and like fake people out with having a team of like 5 or 6 Pokemon that could Mega Evolve. And you kind of had to guess which one it was. In actual main games, I found things like Black Sludge to be really good, especially if you're using a poison type like a Muck or a Garbodor or Weezing. Like there's some interesting uses. Mega Evolution I'm going to put probably as one of the best items. I don't know about best. And when I itemize for in-game, I go with, or tend to go with, like if I've got a fire type, I'll put a charcoal on it. I'm pretty simple in that respect. What's gonna boost my Pokemon's primary moves? I tend not to use things like the choice items, since they limit you to one move at a time, which is great competitively because you're constantly switching and swapping your Pokemon around. But for what I want and what I need in a main story game, any early boost item is probably going to be my best. I'm sorry, that's kind of a cop-out answer. And I'm actually realizing as well, you said item, you didn't say held item. To which I'm then gonna actually say my real answer? My real answer for this? Lepa berries. Lepa berries are the best item in Pokemon. Users, diamonds, item boost. I'm gonna buy. Oh, the gems. I have used the gems, but because they're one-time use, I find them a little frustrating. But yes, I have used them. They're another one of those that I would say is, like, competitively, really an interesting item. But I don't know if I would say it's that useful of an item in the actual games. But yeah, Lepa Berry for me. Most useful item in all of Pokemon is a Lepa Berry. And I will stand by that. Big game specific, because if you're up against, like, well, if you're in Pokemon Black or White or something like that, then whoops. No berries there. Yeah, I think it also, like, they're helpful as well if you've got a Pokemon, like, let's say, in the case of, like, the battle that I've just had here with the Glameow, if I had a fighting gem and then used the fighting move and did 50% extra damage, like, that's great, but at the same time, I'm like, do I need that? Like, did I could have used Rock Smash 3 times instead of 2 times. I would say there's definitely some trainers where, like, that would be helpful to have, where they kind of start with bulk. But if you can get a Lepa Berry early on in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, plant it, and water it, like, first thing in the morning. Do it at, like, 4 in the morning. Plant your lepa berries. And then just every, like, 4 to 5 hours, just check in on just those lepa berries. And give them a water. In no time, after, like, 2 or 3 days of doing that, you will have, like, 50 lepa berries. It's crazy. Exactly. You can just mass produce lepa berries if you want. In X and Y, it's pretty doable. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, it's also really doable. Which other games can you get berries really easily? I guess Gens 3 and 4, but they're not as guaranteed, I feel like. Because when a game puts the berries like in a specific spot, Heart Gold, Soul Silver is the best for this because they quite literally just put the berry as an item that you hold. But yeah, Sun and Moon, I think Heart Gold, Soul Silver is the undefeated GOAT of if you want to grow berries. They made it a little too easy. And Stunky's just hit a crit on me. Right before the first trials. Oh, I remember that, yeah. There is the berry dude. Forgotten about the berry dude. Alright, I don't want to have another long battle. It takes 5 hours. We're just gonna A-spam out of this. Oh, please don't. I'm not in the mood. Alright. But one of the things I did in Heart Gold, my Heart Gold Let's Play, was the berries. We had so many berries by the end of that. Can't remember if I used them all, but I know we had a lot of berries. Because, when you're on an emulator, if you close the emulator, it doesn't let the berries grow, the internal clock doesn't work. But if you pause your emulator, the internal clock is still working. And so you just have to pause the emulator and berries grow. So I just leave my emulator on for hours at a time, just farming berries. In fact, let me see. Save. Berries were nice for 3rd gen, but not remakes. Yeah, I get that. Alright, because I'd have to switch. I'm not going to do this, but we'll see. 21 Lepa berries. 16 Oran berries. Berry pots. Growing citrus berries. Let's see. There, I'll just change this one. Because... oh, no. Gotta change them both. But there we go. Heart Gold berries. This is what I spent my time doing in Pokemon Heart Gold. Just growing berries. We'll say a little hi to the team. If we remember. From all this time ago. Alright. Sentimentality is over. Back to Platinum. Let's get on in here. Open the Windworks. And we got the key. And we got battles. I'm actually now realizing I did mean to put our other Pokemon in the box. Have you done Battle Frontier with Heart Gold Silver? I have not. Well, in my personal own time on an actual game cartridge, yes, but not in that save. I've never been a big Battle Frontier fan. Anyway, we got a barrel, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we'll do this properly this time on how we're supposed to do it based on the way I set up the way we're going to play the game with my actual rules. Also, with the Battle Frontiers, aren't the Gen 4 ones all kind of the same? I feel like the Windworks are all kind of the same. Because the Gen 3 ones are cool. I've seen like a lot of videos about the Gen 3 Battle Frontier and how interesting it is, and a lot more like I was gonna say real world, but like in-game things. And there's some interesting, like, if you, I think it's there to, like, I don't know. Instead of doing the Battle Frontier, I tend to just play the next game. I guess that's just how I play games, for me. I've seen some videos on the Battle Frontier stuff. It looks interesting. I like some of the Gen 4 is a copy-paste? Okay. I do like some of the ideas, it's just... And there's the Easter egg one in Heart Gold Soul Silver but with like the fan girl. I'm sorry, why does a Zubat have Heat Wave? That's what I want to know. Yep. And this is definitely frustrating. And Heat Wave's another special move, so it's not like we can just... Well, actually, one that we could curse for... what's it? Attack damage. We avoid a Heat Wave, so we're gonna go for another one, because we can live one more. This much I do know. And then we can heal up, and then... Yeah, Roost is pain, which is why we're going to get ourselves a little bit up in attack, and then hit Zubat where it hurts. With a slightly stronger tackle. Or it can hit me for a crit. That works as well. But I'm glad we got to this point so quickly. Does Roost give damage? I think it's just heal. I'm just going for curses because I want to be stronger. Alright. We're up 3. I'm gonna just go for a regular potion real quick. It's basically guarantee a tank. Unless this is the crit and takes me out. Which that would make me sad. There we go. Alright. Perugly will probably go Fake Out first, so we get a free turn to heal. It's gonna go for U-turn, which is physical, but super effective. But we're up 3. I wonder, this might actually one-shot. It did one-shot. I don't think you lose Flying type when using Roost. I think you just... Because there aren't many moves that... And most of the moves that get rid of a type are pretty new. So I think it's just... It's just annoying because it heals you. Certain heal moves are altered by weather effect, though. So, like, if you use Synthesis, and you've also used Sunny Day, you'll get, like, 75% of your health instead of 45 or 50 or whatever it is. Alright, there we go. We have done the Valley Windworks. I don't think it is even with ground moves. I think it... I mean, unless they've changed Roost, but I think Roost quite literally is just It is just the move, Roost. It just heals. If there's one caveat, it would be like, it always goes second, but even then I don't think that's the case, because I'm pretty sure you can use it as like an outspeed tactic to keep your Pokemon alive. Do like a poison stall or something like that. Alright, I'm now curious. The move Roost, non-damaging, flying type move, introduced in Generation 4. Okay, restores up to 50% of the user's maximum HP rounded down. If a flying Pokemon successfully uses Roost until the end of its turn, its flying type is ignored and is hit by all attacks. If the other Pokemon has another type, only that type is considered. If the Pokemon is pure flying type, all attacks will be normally effective against it. Interesting. And that is from Gen 4. So, that is good to know. According to Bulbapedia. Yeah, that was just what I was reading. So, I guess that's on you, Shadow. Congratulations on your Pokemon knowledge. All this time I'd been using Roost and didn't know that. But as it turns out, type is ignored. Maybe that's why they gave out, what's its... Mudslap in the original Gen 2 games. I don't know really if that's why, but could be a possibility. Also, this is... some of my favorite routes of all time are in this game. I've always liked this route from just an aesthetic purpose. It's a straight line, but it's a straight twisty line that looks nice, and there's areas you can go to. And it's just so normal, but it's like partially built up and partially not, and it's so balanced. Bye-bye, Geodudes. Plus special defense. You know, that's a strategy for, potentially, for, taking out Faulkner with Chikorita. If type's ignored, then you theoretically could time that to get off something like a Razor Leaf. Do more damage, stab damage. There we go. Good move. Bite. Yamagami, you can now bite people. Or Pokemon, whichever you want. generate a heal ball. We're actually starting to get pretty close to our next Pokemon, which I'm looking forward to getting. You can chew Pokemon. Alright, I'll quickly pause here so that I can go to the bathroom. So I will be back. And we're back. Why Razor Leaf when we can chew? Because strong leaf. That's why. Oh, we did need to get more potions, probably. Although I'm not overly bothered by that, because when it comes to, my brain melting? Thunderbolt on an Apom! Yeah, but we didn't need to buy potions. I just knew that there was healing stuff up ahead. Because there's a house that heals you. And then you're with what's-her-name in the forest who heals you. Just everyone heals you. It's lovely. How are we doing on repels? We got 3 repels. I'm gonna save those for the forest. We got like 2 more battles to go. Actually, that is one good thing, is we will have a high-level Pokemon when we do get to Gardenia. Alright, time for heal. Heal me. You be going now? Alright. Well, thanks for popping into the stream and hanging out and getting a Pokemon named after yourself. I'll make you the best Pokemon you've ever been. We go with Cheryl. Alright. Let's... She's level 24, so... Not too shabby. A 10% bonus to wild Pokemon doesn't do too much, but the 20% to trainers does. Critical final blow to Cynthia? We'll see. Well, actually quite possibly. Depends on how weak her Pokemon are to us, but yeah. It was a possibility. I don't know if I will do Gardenia match. I would like to, but I may not get to it. I may not just have enough time in the day. But we will catch another Pokemon, which is the main thing. Would I recommend a ROM hack for a first Nuzlocke? For a first Nuzlocke, I probably would just go with one of the Drayano hacks of some form, because they're familiar enough, and there's enough new Pokemon within the familiar setting. Then I might branch out into older ROM hacks, like a Light Platinum, Pokemon Glazed, those types. Main reason for that is just probably not going to be as hard. You can kind of just play by your own rules. It's not like there's a Nuzlocke mode that someone's added, or, yeah. In that case. Alright, see ya. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I'd probably do something like that. Start with a Drayano. Or, again, because I think the setting thing is important for first Nuzlocke. Just doing something like a randomizer Nuzlocke's fun. So, and I think the familiar setting's helpful. I like to play through games first before I do like any big challenge. See what there is to do. Alright, let's get out of here. I think those are all the battles that we do. And we have no need to go into the haunted mansion thing. And so there we are. Yeah, it's more of a, and at least for me, it's more of the knowing my way around the game itself than it is just knowing what else is out there. I know in Pokemon Black I have to go in this direction, and so I can focus more on the actual Nuzlocke itself than focusing on the game, too. He's actually probably going to have a level 20 Magikarp. No, 17. Nope, 19. Okay. Close. But not quite. This is normally my little Luxio area, where I heal up my Luxio. And then there's the berries up here. Which... we have a cherry berry. I might... let's plant some cherry berries and orange berries. And then remember about them. Okay, we need to remember those. Those are important to remember. Alright, let us... oh, we run into Barry. Oh yeah, he takes us to this Pokemon statue. We're not really that interested in the Pokemon statue. All we are actually interested in is... the Pokemon that we can catch that's kind of close to here. Nice little intro of Cyrus. Alright. Route to 11. We need to find ourselves a singular bronzy boy. None of these are that. And then it's a matter of leveling up, but we'll get to that later. One bronzy boy. It's perfect. It's so perfect. It's got Confuse Ray and Hypnosis. Let's see if we can catch it now. There we go. Alright. Shadow, you're gonna get a proper team member this time around, since also no one new has come in. But for this one, I'll do the Z at the end. And properly be welcomed into the team and not just as a make weight to beat Barry. Ah, it's Cynthia. The Pokedex. And all that sort of stuff. And she gives me cut, I want to say? Believe it's cut here. And then she gives you an egg later. And that egg is Togepi, which will be a useful team member for us as well. Alright. Well, we've got our Pokemon. We need to level them up. I'm going to do the battles in and around this area. Let's also get the, this thing. underground man. And we'll say yes to him. And... Alright, so we've got Cut, we've got Shadow, properly. Level 18's pretty decent as well, I'm happy with that. But we've got ourselves our second actual team member of the team members that we need to get. We've probably gotten past the worst of it, which actually leads me to believe that maybe this is one of the easier paths, and I've just made it harder on myself. Considering how kind of easy it was to get all the way up here in the first place. Shouldn't have bothered. Well, I had to differentiate the two shadows. That's the problem. Because we still got the other dude somewhere in the box, the Zubat. I guess this can show how this method can be useful. So we don't have to be super reliant. Yeah, this is gonna work out pretty well, I think, for the gym. Ooh, Mega Drain. Take that. And let's head on down here. This is a trainer that we really do need to, like, have Shadow battle. Because otherwise we'll lose. Well, I don't know if we'd actually lose, but 50 or 80 with flinch. Yeah, I think we'll go with extra sensory. Alright, let's... Again, Confuse Ray. I don't think you can put a Hoot Hoot to sleep. So that is something that we're just gonna have to live with. Alright, and we get Taunt. Repel effect wore off. So let's head into the cave. Ooh, we only got one repel left, so we'll have to be a bit sparingly. So I only think there's 2 items we can get, and it's that one and this one. Which is an ice heal. And there we go. We've done those trainers. Which pretty much puts us at the point of all we need to do is take on the gym. And since I said I would do that in the next episode, or next stream, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So that might take a little longer, but it didn't really take much longer, so what can you do? I'll deal with berries, though, because that is something to deal with. Alright, I'll see you everyone next time. Thanks for coming out, for those who did. And we'll continue the journey when I next have free time, because it probably won't be this weekend. So yeah.